This is KGW News at 5.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Christmas Eve. I'm Tim Gordon. We start tonight with what's been a tragic holiday weekend for several local families. First, Portland police say one person died in this early morning car crash. This was the scene just after 1 a.m. near the intersection of North Columbia Boulevard and Oregonian Avenue. Just one car was involved. A passenger died at the scene, despite the work of paramedics. No word on if the driver will face any charges. In Fairview, investigators are working to determine what sparked a house fire that killed one person. Crews responded to the scene near I-84 just after 10:30 this morning. Firefighters tell us that several more people were injured. And down in Eugene, a mother and her 16-month-old son were rushed to hospitals after they were hit by a car while crossing the street. This happened last night. Police telling us the little boy was knocked out of the stroller. He was airlifted to a hospital here in Portland, while his mother was rushed to a Eugene hospital, both with potentially fatal injuries. The driver was arrested, and police say he is cooperating. However, they are investigating if that driver was impaired or speeding. All these tragedies come on a weekend when a lot of us are with our families. AAA estimating that more than 7.5 million Americans have flown this weekend, with more than 100 million making long drives to get to grandmother's house. And on this Christmas Eve, the weather plays a big factor into everybody's plans. So what does the night have in store for us? Let's turn it over to Ashley Grams in the Weather Center to find out. Ashley?
Merry Christmas Eve to you, Tim. Let's start out tonight in Pioneer Square. And yes, we've got a beautiful Christmas tree lit up tonight. A little bit warmer than it was yesterday, about 43 degrees here in the Rose City. We do have quite heavy cloud cover right now and a bit of east wind with us as well. But excited to show you this view of Timberline right now. We are seeing just a couple of snowflakes coming down, and we are below freezing, 27 degrees there right now. And we have had an inch of new snow up there for all you skiers and snowboarders. We're expecting this to continue into the night. Let's take a look at some of our passes here. This is Government Camp US 26. Thanks to Trip Check, you can see just a little bit of snow there on the road, but this is about 4,000 feet. So we're expecting to see more snow around that 5,000 foot elevation mark. So Santiam gonna be right there just under 5,000 feet. Yet the road still looking pretty wet. Same with Willamette Pass. That's just over 5,000 feet in elevation, and again this road looking wet. We are expecting to see just a few inches of fresh powder tonight, and that's really going to turn slushy as we head into tomorrow, Christmas Day. You can see just a little bit on our radar here. That's what's over Mount Hood. That's what's bringing just a couple of those nice new flakes to Timberline. We'll talk more about that and some possible freezing rain in the Gorge and Hood River tomorrow, and your 7-day forecast coming up. Tim.
All right, Ashley, we'll see you then. Well, Christmas Eve is a time to reconnect with friends and family, but not everyone is lucky enough to have loved ones or even a hot meal to eat. Today, Potluck in the Park hosted their annual Christmas dinner for those in need at the Portland Art Museum. They've been fighting hunger since 1991. Our Sydney Dorner has the story.
Living on the streets can be especially rough during the holidays, but homeless people we spoke with say a warm plate and a smile can make a world of a difference. Stefan Furche says just last year, he was living on the streets.
I lost a lot of my family, and I've transitioned from being homeless and on the streets, and through the place I work and the community, I'm now housed and inside this year, and it's great because it's cold and I'm old, and that would suck.
Furche works for Ground Score Association, which provides garbage service for those living in tents and camps. He says it's easy to feel isolated while in survival mode, and events like this bring the homeless community together.
You're not with your family, and this is a family environment, and it makes it feel like family, because as homeless folks, we all are a family, one way or another.
Randy Brooks says he spent plenty of nights outside being wet and cold. Things looked up for him when he got into a program that helped him get back on his feet.
Most people appreciate it, that they have an opportunity to have somewhere like this to come to and to get a meal and then maybe have a few gifts and things like that, because a lot of the people out there on the street don't have places where they can go and get stuff like this.
Overall, homeless people I spoke with say they just want to be understood and are very appreciative of any help they receive.
We're not trying to harm the city. A lot of us didn't choose to be where we're at. We just are. And again, work with us and not against us.
Sydney Dorner, KGW News.
Well, do you have your Christmas shopping done yet? If not, well, sorry, it's probably too late. Most stores are in the process of closing or will be shut down in the next few hours. The National Retail Federation expects U.S. holiday sales will rise 3 to 4% November through December. That is a little lower than last year, the first holiday out of the pandemic, which saw almost 6% growth. But this year is consistent with numbers that we saw in the years before COVID-19. Meantime, one major retailer is coming under fire following a CNBC investigation. Target said it closed 9 stores, including 3 right here in Portland, because of crime and retail theft. But that may not be the full picture. Turns out some other Targets suffer more crime, but stayed open. Portland saw 3 Targets shut down this past fall here at the downtown location, along with a store on Southeast Powell and also the Hollywood location in Northeast Portland. All 3 were the smaller type of Target, designed for more urban areas. So when Target announced the closures in September, it blamed it on crime, saying we cannot continue operating these stores because theft and organized retail crime are threatening the safety of our team and guests and contributing to unsustainable business performance. But CNBC's investigation found that crime incidents at the stores being closed was much lower than at 2 other Portland locations, at big stores on Cascade Parkway near the airport and on Southeast Washington east of I-205. The number of incidents there, a whopping 718 total. You see here. Again, those stores are still open. The ones with fewer incidents are closed, and that doesn't sit well with shoppers we talked to downtown.
I don't appreciate them lying about the why. Why can't you just say, like, it's not making enough sales for how much it costs, as opposed to saying it's like some sort of organized crime?
Now, to be clear, organized crime is a big part of retail theft, and we've reported extensively about it. But the numbers don't add up to it being the only reason Target closed the stores it did. And we did put in our own request to Target for comment on the store closures, specifically here in Portland. They have not responded.